BSV Blockchain, building a world of good.
Good afternoon, Toronto and AIBC. I'm Nguyen, founding president of the global organization that supports the BSV blockchain. I know you're all here to build business and blockchain and make money. But I'm here to also ask you a much more important question. What kind of world do you want as we do this? It's a question I think about because my parents instilled into me that question. They know all too well what it means to think about how to create a new world and life experience for themselves if given the challenge or the opportunity. Because you see, my parents, born many years ago in Vietnam like I was, married many years ago in Vietnam, but due to the fall of Saigon in April 1975, had to leave Vietnam to come to the United States where I was raised. And over the course of 59 years, they raised a family, got to a family wedding with me last October, and became the last couple standing at a wedding reception, recognizing their 59 years of marriage together. In a few months, that number will turn to 60. And it's a reminder of what they told me as a kid because they had to create two different worlds in their lives. First, this world with the family in Vietnam, me as the youngest baby there, but a new world in a new environment, a new country with new languages and challenges in the United States. And what they told me and my siblings as a child was, we can view this as a problem or we can view this as an opportunity to build a new life and world for ourselves. What do we want to do with that opportunity? As people in the blockchain space, we face a similar question today. Blockchain and Bitcoin were created to actually make the internet better with a more efficient payment system on the internet. And the blockchain industry has turned into too much of a speculative investment trading circus. So I'm here to ask you, what kind of world do you want if you have the opportunity now to make the internet better and to reshape the blockchain industry for good? I want to tell you that I don't want to see a world of continuing too many coins which don't have any particular usage. If you look at CoinMarketCap today, there's over 10,000 cryptocurrencies listed. You have to scroll over 100 pages to get to the end. We have situations such as an algorithmic stablecoin, which collapses the entire crypto market because there's not enough utility or real value backing it with Terra and Luna. We have a situation where Bitcoin and blockchain have gotten the reputation for illicit criminal behavior from early usage in the past, and that inhibits our ability to grow blockchain today. That's not the future I want all of you here at AIBC or around the world watching to be building. Instead, we believe the answer comes back to Bitcoin in its original, what we call Satoshi vision, the vision of its creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, which on BSV, a competing chain of Bitcoin, we have restored the original Bitcoin protocol and design as Satoshi delivered it, not what is happening on BTC today. But unlike the BTC chain, which has remained very small in block size, we're massively scaling to make blockchain useful, to actually deliver on Satoshi's vision for a useful peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and more importantly, a data infrastructure that's distributed and can make the world more efficient and honest. And most importantly, and what I said last night when accepting an award here at AIBC for BSV Blockchain, we want you to join us in making blockchain useful for everyone. That's not the industry we see today. It's the industry we want to create. And over my few minutes now, I want to lead you on a journey of what this world looks like of Satoshi Vision and how it delivers a world of efficiency and honesty. And my speech will be just the beginning of a 2-hour block of sessions where you will hear from other leaders and entrepreneurs in the BSV ecosystem who are helping me and my colleagues deliver this vision for what I call a world of good. What's Satoshi Vision? It all stems from solving a simple problem the internet did not solve. This is an error code, an internet protocol, 402, payment required, that you do not see when you go to websites today and there's an error. It's because it's been reserved for future use but has never been used. This was a code that the designers of HTTP protocol put in knowing that there would be a day when you needed to access a website or web service, but needed to pay something through Internet Protocol, but did not pay, therefore you would get this error message. This code has never been used because the native Internet Protocol we know today does not have a system to transfer money value. And that's why we had on the internet have to layer on payment processors, PayPal, credit card processors, all which cause inefficiency and means you cannot send small amounts of money quickly across the internet. You need intermediaries. And this is exactly what Satoshi's vision was designed to solve. To actually solve that problem, the Internet Protocol did not. How do you create a system where peer-to-peer, me to you, anywhere in the world, without an intermediary, can send you money value across the internet, without someone in the middle taking a fee, slowing down the process that you have to trust? That is what Bitcoin and blockchain were designed to solve. And the reason that Satoshi called it a distributed timestamp server in the paper is a key to what blockchain was meant to do. By actually distributing the records of transactions, so not one person keeps charge of it, you therefore create a system which is harder to cheat. And although we today are in an industry which uses the term blockchain, Satoshi's white paper doesn't even use that term. It uses the term distributed timestamp server, a system where multiple people keep copies of timestamp records of transactions, of me sending Bitcoin to you, but also data, me transferring title of an NFT, a vehicle, property, time-stamped and published to the world so that not one person in the middle keeps charge of it, but many people maintain the ledger. And by publishing that timestamp record of events, we can all verify its accuracy. That's what Bitcoin and blockchain were designed to do, but it was also designed to do more. Bitcoin in the form of BTC that you know about is only associated now with digital gold, a store of value, some type of payment system. But Satoshi, in his vision, always designed Bitcoin to do more than just payments. He wrote it early on that Bitcoin can already be used for pay-to-send email, where you're actually sending an email in a Bitcoin transaction with the payment to encourage someone to read it. In addition, Satoshi wrote that the design of Bitcoin supports many other types of transactions besides payment: escrow, bonded contracts, third-party arbitration, multi-party signature. The point is that Satoshi always designed Bitcoin to do more than just be a store of value or a money payment system. In fact, the Bitcoin network is what I describe the fusion of bit, data, and money, coin. It's right there in the word. It's a network in which you can transfer data that is ascribed with money value, including your own personal data, including an NFT, including government data or other business data. Why don't we have this world today with Bitcoin? The reason we don't is to achieve this vision, we also need a world of scaling. And that's not what BTC's protocol developers decided to do. They decided to restrict the block capacity of BTC to a small 1 megabyte in size, meaning the BTC network does only 3 to 7 transactions per second across the entire world. If you were trying to create a system that would make internet payments more efficient and challenge MasterCard or Visa, which does 2 to almost 60,000 transactions a second, you cannot do it with this tiny, tiny block size. You need to scale. The answer to creating a more efficient and better world with Bitcoin and blockchain is very simple. Scale up Bitcoin's protocol as Satoshi always intended. And that's what we've done with BSV, lifting block caps, investing huge amounts of development and research efforts to optimize the ability to propagate and create bigger blocks, huge amounts of transactions, and demonstrating through new enterprise class software that we have shown to the world the ability to do 50 to 100,000 transactions a second. And we're just getting started. We want to do more. We want to get that number to millions of transactions per second. Why is this important? It's important because it means you can actually use the Bitcoin protocol and blockchain to do something useful, not just to buy BTC and hold it, waiting for the number to go up to get rich. And that's why on BSV, our block size is not 1 megabyte or 2 or 10 megabytes. We're now at 4 gigabytes, 4,000 times the capacity of the BTC network. with blocks like this being hit comfortably. This is the world record block on BSV now, mined on April 10th of 2022 at 4 gigabytes, with that one block holding 2.4 million individual BSV transactions, designed to do exactly what Satoshi intended. More importantly, with this scaling, you can push bigger amounts of data. People do not realize that in the Bitcoin scripting language, which is a primitive programming language that Satoshi released, there are opcodes, including this one, op push data 4, which allows you, in one single Bitcoin transaction, to push a data file of up to 4.3 gigabytes of data, 4,300 plus megabytes. Why would Satoshi have put this into the Bitcoin protocol if Bitcoin was only ever going to have block sizes of 1 megabyte in size? It doesn't make any sense, because Satoshi's vision was for the Bitcoin network to also propagate and be used for much bigger data files, movies, music files, all kinds of smart contracts. Scaling has a very practical benefit. For any of you who are building blockchain applications, you'll know you need low transaction fees to make your application workable at scale. BTC's transaction fees, because the block size is so small, the fees are not just high, they're unreliable because it depends on network congestion. Over the past year, the BTC transaction fee has ranged, as you can see from this chart, from about 70 US cents to over 30 US dollars. But even at 70 cents, it's far too high to create a global network. And for those of you who've used Ethereum, it's even worse. The gas fees are incredibly high and unreliable, from about $3.80 US cents over the last year to almost 70 US dollars to send a single Ethereum transaction. More to mint a single NFT, which does not allow new artists, governments, charities to be minting many, many NFTs to actually scale up their projects. And this is why recent headlines like this plague the NFT world, when the Bored Ape Yacht Club, which has all the attention, essentially broke Ethereum when they launched a new minting NFT set of virtual assets for land. And so that caused recently the entire network to stall for hours. And some people trying to mint these new NFTs paid thousands of dollars in Ethereum gas fees and got nothing. Nothing. That's not a world we want. Same thing with Solana, which people thought was a solution using proof of stake. It has now had its network shut down 8 times this year due to DDoS attacks. Again, that is not a blockchain world we want. And while I often do not agree with Vitalik Buterin, this is a statement he made in 2014 that I mostly agree with, which is that the Internet of Money in Bitcoin should not cost 5 cents per transaction. That's absurd. I absolutely agree. But I think that number is still too high. Well, that's why on BSV, because of our scaling, the transaction fee now to send a payment of any amount anywhere in the world is about 1/100th to 1/20th of a US cent. 1/100th to 1/20th of a US cent. Almost free. And we think that number is even still too high. We're trying to get that number eventually to about 1/1000th of a US cent, so that you can send not just $1 million US dollars anywhere in the world with Bitcoin, but you can send micropayments, a penny, 2 pennies, to power all kinds of new business models, to create new opportunities, especially in developing countries, and to fulfill Satoshi's vision written right in the white paper people don't hear about, the ability to send small, casual transactions over the internet. That's what Bitcoin was created to do. And that's what we're already seeing on the BSV network. Handcash is a mobile wallet that's very popular on BSV. Here's a snapshot of my wallet account, where you can see some people around the world, because they're fans of me on the BSV world, have sent me a penny, a quarter of a penny. Not because I need it, but because they can. They're trying to demonstrate the efficiency of the BSV network. This opens up whole new ways and worlds to earn. So in Handcash, they connect to a whole gallery of apps built on BSV, social media, games, consumer reviews, where you can actually earn and use BSV in small amounts. For example, every time you play a game or post a Twitter-like post on an application called Twitch, where you actually earn small amounts of money every time someone likes or comments on your post. One of the companies you'll hear from later today is Haste Arcade, which has created a new instant leaderboard payout system to transform the video and online game industry. Imagine a world where when you stuck a quarter in an arcade game in the past, you got on the leaderboard if you were good, but you didn't win any money for it, did you? Right? When you played Pac-Man or Space Invaders? Well, with their SDK and platform, games can plug in, you pay to play, and if you get on the leaderboard, everyone who comes after you, who does not beat your score, gets a tiny fraction of the money you paid and allows you to earn in a new way. Crypto Fights is a big esports game on our platform, also powering sometimes millions of transactions a day on BSV, more than all of the other leading networks combined in blockchain, also providing players ways to earn money in small amounts by playing their game. With these small payments and big scaling, you can also create a world of financial inclusion. CentB is a wallet in South Africa that uses BSV, that allows people across the African continent to use BSV to pay and get discounts on all kinds of merchants through a gift card program. They also are using BSV as the base ledger for a remittance product, Minute Money and CentB Remit, where they use the ledger for 8 African countries and corridors to allow people to send to their family and friends money instead of paying 8 to 10%, which is a typical remittance fee amount. They charge a flat 50 South African Rand, which is about $3.17 US. They still have to take a fee, but they can do it at this low rate because of the low cost of sending BSV itself. And they're planning to expand all across the world. And this is a very powerful use case for using the efficiency of Bitcoin to allow people to send money to their families and friends, especially migrant workers across the world, back to people who need it. Monetex is a company led by one of our colleagues in the Bitcoin Association, which is using BSV's micropayment capabilities to create micro-lending in Uganda. So if you cannot get a bank loan to start your business and you want to start a small shop or you want a little vendor stall on the street, you can actually raise money from your community in small amounts and repay them in small amounts using BSV micropayments. And of course, Bitcoin was designed to improve the internet. We're seeing applications to make a world with a better internet on BSV. Imagine where you don't pay a digital subscription fee by month for a newspaper of $10, but instead pay 10 cents for every article you read in a newspaper. You can with BSV. Imagine where you don't sit through those YouTube ads, but you pay for every 30 seconds you watch of a video withdrawn directly from your BSV wallet. Or imagine where your internet searches on Google are not free, you pay a small amount, but you get better quality results because there are no sponsored links. That's the kind of world we foresee with the power of BSV micropayments. Or a world where you have more control over your data, identity, and the sovereignty of it, such as with VX Technologies, which is using our blockchain to build an application to track COVID-19 vaccinations and other verified health records of you, and you have the ability to authorize companies and organizations to see it, and even to sell that data to people who want to pay you for access to it if you want. We have a world of more efficient tokenization happening on BSV. NFTs are all the craze, and we have plenty of them on BSV, such as Galactic Mice, which will be a game, Duro Dogs you'll hear about later, which are collectible pets, even Bullish Art, which is contemporary art. And the reason we're seeing such an explosion is because it's so cheap to mint NFTs on BSV. This is not like OpenSea with Ethereum, $80 or $100 to mint a single NFT. Nifty Jigs, who you'll hear from later today, last year minted over 175,000 NFTs on BSV. On Ethereum, that probably would have cost about $10 million at various points in time. They paid a total cost of about $175. This opens up the possibility for NFT use at such massive scale. In fact, it's so efficient, we just launched a new demo product on our bitcoinsv.com site where you can mint NFT for free, upload whatever image, artwork you want. We'll pay the fee. Doesn't hurt us because it's practically free. So go give it a try at bitcoinsv.com. And we're trying to encourage NFTs for better purposes, not just 8 pictures. FabricX is a platform here that is actually encouraging better use of NFTs, such as, for example, this World Ocean Day themed NFT collection. We also want to encourage people to understand that Bitcoin can do things like smart contracts. And Tokenize is a company that has a whole platform to create digital tokens, particularly of financial instruments. And it makes it easy to create the smart contract by having a web-based interface, and you just put in basic contract terms, and it converts them to a token system for you. Scrypt is a company with a bright entrepreneur out of California, which has developed a high-level smart contract language for BSV, the equivalent to Ethereum Solidity. So give it a try if you're trying to build smart contracts. And this guy is so brilliant, he worked with some of our other partners to just launch this, a transpiler, where you can import an Ethereum smart contract into this. It will convert it to BSV smart contract language, and you can run that Ethereum contract for about 1/1000th of the price that you would otherwise pay on Ethereum. Efficiency, which leads also to a world of verifiability and traceability. Bitcoin is a public ledger. That means companies like Unisat out of Norway can provide supply chain tracking systems that they're now using to track art, or with their partner Local to Local, a local organic farming company, so that you can track the organic nature of your foods. Or Quantum Labs, which is going to be using our blockchain to do testing, to record testing data for bioactive natural compounds, so that people can verify the integrity of the tests that are done on things that you put into your body. We're also working with the University of Sharjah out in the United Arab Emirates to develop an academic credential and professional certification tracking platform using the BSV blockchain to cut down on academic fraud when people cheat and lie about what they actually got their degree in, or if at all. A company in the UAE and Pakistan, InvoiceMate, is using our platform to actually improve the invoice management process. So you don't have to call up people and say, hey, did you get my invoice? Did you pay it? Everyone can see in real time and improve the efficiency of invoice management. We also want to see a world that's more connected with devices. So this is a screenshot of work from a predict ecology company in Australia, which attaches IoT devices to trees in a city in Australia, sends the data to the BSV blockchain using this, a high throughput wallet called MetaStream, which sends the data to the blockchain and will create a data marketplace that environmental consultants and people studying environmental sustainability can use to improve the goals of ESG in that particular city. And finally, I have to point out the power of BSV with IPv6, which is the next iteration of Internet Protocol. Right now, a lot of us and our networks use IPv4, which has run out of unique addresses. So we all have more devices than there are people in the world, and there's not enough unique addresses. The world is trying to move to IPv6, which uses a 128-bit address format and can provide 18 quintillion plus unique IP addresses. More than every human device, piece of sand that will probably ever exist. Why is this important? It means in this new smart connected world we're living in, everything can have a unique IP address. It can send data to each other. My microphone, that TV monitor, your belt, and it can also exchange tokens to authenticate who you are. Tiny payments for using, for example, the restroom or going down a toll road in a car. BSV and its protocol is designed to work with IPv6 and is the perfect scaled blockchain with micropayment and data capability to power this connected world with IPv6. And that's why we're proud to be working with the Global IPv6 Forum to be educating everyone about this combined power of these two systems. And you'll also hear about CertaHash and its project with IBM, which is trying to build a more secure world using our blockchain to create sentinel nodes that will improve cybersecurity of websites. These are all just examples of what we think you can do with a blockchain that does these things that my parents would tell you, as well as any children out there, to do with their lives. If you have an opportunity to create something new for yourself, to go back in time and improve the internet, or fix what's happened with the blockchain industry, do it like BSV, with unlimited potential, no restrictions on what you can do. By all means, be useful, do something useful, and do something good with your efforts. That's what my parents would tell you, and it's the question that I am posing to my nieces and nephews as our family has grown, from the family my parents had in Vietnam to the family in Southern California you see before you. I have the opportunity to tell them how they can improve the world more for themselves. And I want you to think of the same as you go about your blockchain journey. Because I will ask you what my parents do. What kind of world do you want? Do you want a world of speculative investment trading, selling digital assets that don't really work, with technology platforms that don't scale, fees so inefficient that the systems are essentially useless? A world that operates outside the law? A world of darkness? That's not the world I want to see. I want to see a world of light. A world where blockchain actually empowers. A world of peer-to-peer transactions. A world of micropayments. A world of electronic cash. A world with a better internet. A world with data that can be monetized. A world that only comes with scale to move us forward. A world that empowers every person in every country to trade in the global marketplace, to enjoy financial inclusion, to pursue new jobs, new careers, new dreams, and to fulfill their potential, to verify and control their own identity. A world that is more digitally secure, a world with cities, communities, nations that are smarter, more autonomous, more connected. A world that builds structures that dream of the future. A world of sustainability. A world of honesty. A world of data integrity. A world of transparency. A world of accountability. A world of traceability. A world with new business and relationships. A world that builds new visions of who we are. A world of innovation, wonder, and light. BSV Blockchain, a world of good.